Yup. We're just gonna get stuck in here. I think it would be a wise but annoying idea to move the camera closer. We can kind of get a bit of a. There we go. We got a bit of an up close and personal, right? This guy needs to go. But you can just hang there. Because I'm not sure how the Aurora is going to handle stereo send. This does not have a stereo send. It just has a mono send. So will it automatically populate, you know, one channel to two channels? I think it seems like that's kind of the case nowadays. So this is the plan. The plan is pull the ZDSP, replace it with the Qubit Aurora, maybe use the ZDSP in my other system. I don't know yet because I've got those other tip-top Z-Verb and the Echoes in my little system, and they're fucking great. So, like, there's really no need for anything different. But this is a pretty great little module. Well, not little. It's a pretty great big module. So, I don't know. Don't know yet. It depends on what the Aurora does. Who knows? Maybe I'll try the Aurora and it'll be like a total piece of shit. Okay. Well, this was disappointing. All right. Yeah. This thing is in here. In there tight. Tight. Honestly, this is the best part. You just keep the cable in there. Don't pull the cable out. Just swap it. Right? They're all the same cable, unless you've got a funky weird one that's like 16 to 16 pin, which is it does happen. It's a little strange. Aurora. I'm excited for this module. Let me just say, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It comes with a pin. Oh, cool. And it comes with this, a little USB drive that sits right in the front panel. And that's how you do your firmware updates. You just pull the flash drive straight out of the panel right there. God, where's the camera? There. Just pull the flash drive out, put the thing on there, put it back in, fire it up. Like, dude, that's brilliant. Well done, Qubit. Okay, I need to look a little bit closer. The only way I can do that is if I fire up my phone camera. Which is sad. And it's going plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts. That's the red stripe. I think. Let me double check. Confirm with the manual. Because that's definitely, you know, most modern modules do have power reverse protection. And, yeah. You want it at the minus 12 side. Sort of figured. So, in other words, it's got to come in. Weird sideways kind of funky thing here. So, we're putting this in like so, like a so. Chonk it down, double check to confirm, make sure that's the negative 12 side. There's that. And as long as we've got 4 knurlies in my hand, I might as well put all 4 in. Sometimes I like to do just 2, save myself a couple. Put them like crossways. I've got like a couple cans of these things at this point, so tain't no big thing to wait for the bell to. Yo, Jason! Stage 1 of my plan, my master world plan, is complete. I now have the Qubit Aurora. Excellent. Stage 2 is in the mail. And I did get the Moleco quad envelope for my small system. So I'm going to put that in tomorrow. Give it a shot. That's got some funky stuff, man. I didn't. There's no tutorials on that thing, and that's an old module. It's sort of surprising, but it's got a sequencer built in. You can actually do sequencing on the envelopes, so you can like, oh, I'm gonna increase the decay time at a certain clock pulse and that kind of thing. It's pretty wild, and yeah, kind of excited to dive into it. Because the fact is, I didn't want to get another Zadar. I really wanted another IntelliGel Quadrax. You can't find those things. I looked again today just out of curiosity. There is one used one on Reverb, and they want $550 for it. Like, no, and you're naughty. Don't capitalize, okay? Jerks. Now we have a giant hole right here, which that's where the jack expander for the Vector is going to sit. Plop, right in that spot. The only thing I'm going to have to do is pull out a couple more modules because I have no more screws right here. Or nuts, I mean. And I'm all out of nuts. Okay, so let's see. Input and output. And the outputs are this guy and this guy. Yeah, I did. I talked to Jim at 512 at KnobCon, and he gave me a little bit of a deal, which is kind of cool. Didn't have to do that. So, yeah, I did the thing, and that's another one that's nice. This thing is super cool because it's got a built-in USB plug right here, so it's so easy to like update. Just like literally plug it straight into the computer from here, and then you're good to go. Okay, yada 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 yada. Can we hook up inputs? Audio input left. Is it normals to both channels when no cable is present? Fuck yeah, that's awesome. I was very much hopeful for that. The tip top, the ZDSP doesn't. You actually have to either bridge it, which I've been doing with a tip top stackable cable thing, or you have to do something else that would work for it. So here goes. Wish me luck. Seems like it's functioning correctly. And it's got the prettiest fucking lights on it. Like, seriously. Guys, very good job on the cool lights. I think I'm going to move the camera back. I think you could probably see a closer view. There. Okay, now I'm just gonna set up a really small sequence here. Like I said, today's gonna be a fairly short stream. Yeah, man, and the lights, the LEDs are like, they're like strips, and they change colors, and wow, that's cool. So let's just wire up a quick, easy patch. Okay, you're not going to do that, are you? Let me just fire up a clock output then and just make it slower. Boom. What's happening? Oh, yeah, son of a bitch. Load. First one. Clock output. Boom. There we go. It's a little bit manageable. All right. So this guy, 1 volt per octave, yada yada. Let's use the new one. I like this new one too, man. This Weston oscillator, it is pretty freaking nice. It's I kind of wish, part of me wishes that it did have actual like octave switch. It doesn't. Man, I'm going to have to redo something with the cabling here because this little cluster of shit right here is... See, this is what I give. This is what I give to you. You could make, I guess you could probably you'd have to make some custom cable runs and like get them the exact length that you want to go to the various places. But I've considered moving everything around, like putting my three, so the Aurora, the Verb, and the black hole, put them over here, move the sampler right there. I think it would be a lot more logical. So then this row would be expander, sampler, Aurora, Verb, black hole. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. That seems like a logical thing, and since I'm gonna have to pull a shitload of modules anyways, just to get some nuts in here. Yeah, it's probably gonna have to happen. So, anyways, let's do this thing. Let's go here. We'll go input, and let's take the sub well to this. Just run it straight into channel 1, and we'll keep life easy here. And it's got the cascading outputs here, so we'll fire the envelope into only channel, and then we should have some sound. So there's the sawtooth out. And then here is that's the sub square. So we can mix nice. Okay, and now this thing. Mix, 100% wet. Time. Out of the way a little bit here. Initial knob positions. Okay, time. Right in the middle. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's all right there. So warp. Pitch shift. And the LEDs respond to where your position is. So if you notice, it's like funky weird colors, weird colors, weird colors, and then like you hit a green. The green is the octave. There's my octave again. There's my octave again. 2 octaves. 3 octaves. Cool. The LEDs. What about time? Time blurs the amplitude component of audio. Time stretching your audio. Really? Holy shit. Where can we go with this? Now I am. Okay, so that's cool. So then we have reflect. Morphs between different multi-delay time zones. Okay. Freeze it. Reverse it. Ah. Super cool. What happens? Yummy. I mean, you know my quest. My quest is, can I find a Valhalla Supermassive in Eurorack? Okay, atmosphere. Controls the spectral and time domain filters to shape your sound. Low end, spectral, whole songs. High end equals icy, frequency-rich textures. So it's kind of like a tone control, but... Oh, now we get to some craziness. What's too predictable? I don't, I'm just testing out a module, man. I'm testing out a reverb. Throw me a bone here. These cables are annoying. Hate them. Wish they would all go away. Forever and ever and ever. Could take up a little bit of slack by just doing this down a tiny bit. Okay. So that's really interesting. That like glistening, you know, super. Now this is of course pitch shifted. So here's 2 octaves. Yeah. Okay, and last but not least, we've got blur. Smears the frequency component of incoming audio, creating digitally stretched spectral effects. Well, okay then. Let's turn this down and listen to it kind of on its own. Wow. What? Sounds like it's downsampling it. Either downsampling or, you know, well, bit crushing. That's basically the same thing, right? Interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. So, like, you can turn up the input level to, like, higher. So it's got, like, shift functions all over the place. You can do shift plus a bunch of shit to get things going. Sure is pretty. It's kind of going to compete with the Scion for the coolest lights.
Let's get stupid.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Okay. Let's do some reversage. Okay, blur. Blur is weird, man. Blur is like, we've taken your reverb and we've flushed it down the toilet, and then we've pulled it out again and slapped it a few times. And then we put it back in. Here you go. Ooh. Changed the settings for the FFT, and if you're not familiar with fast Fourier transforms, look it up. It's a cool subject. It's a good thing to know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Ensemble oscillator. In fact, I'd like to put ensemble oscillator direct. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, it is got a little bit of granular in it, and with granular you have pitch shifting, right? So it's kind of like all in one, you know. And I was just looking for something that not only would give me gigantic lush reverbs, but also give me some really tripped out weirdness too. It seems like it does the cake, it does the thing, you know. I'm interested in hearing what the different transforms are like, though. Pretty wild. And can I just say that everybody needs this? Everybody needs to have their little updater right on the fucking front panel. Like, no more like, oh, you have to pull your entire module out just to update it. Or, like, for the Mux Slicer, oh, in order to update it, you need to buy an Arduino controller. And what? What the hell, dudes? You done fucked up. Whale songs, eh? Let's see what the whale songs patch has in it. 2, 3, so no. Green one. Green, fast Fourier transform. Warp up a little bit, time in the middle, blur over here. Flex, down low. So, what do we got here? hear nothing. Oh, now I hear something. Time for an icy shimmer. Now if we turn the reflect all the way down. Oh, okay, so yeah, so we get that after effect. It's like wah, wah. Here we don't have it. If we turn that up all the way. It's got like extra delays in there basically. It's like it's feeding back through a delay line back into the reverb. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, you could, you know, modulate it, which would be fun. Speaking of which. I think it's kind of unique, though. So that is the icy shimmer. It's kind of interesting, this atmosphere control almost sounds to me like it actually injects white noise into the signal. I wonder if they mention that. Atmosphere just says high and icy. Frequency rich textures. Okay. Again, I'm just very glad they normalized the inputs. That makes me happy. Contact. What is this? Emulate alien ship thrusters with a simpler waveform. Morphing between sine and pulse waves on chord, for example, changes the thrusters from subdued to overwhelming. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Kind of makes me want to filter. Kind of makes me want to. Certainly do. So if we throw like just a nice happy. Let me tune this down. can kind of transform it a little bit more into a triangle wave. This just seems like an octave down, blur a little bit here. Give you these patch ideas in the manual, which is kind of cool. Appreciate that. Ooh. Spooky. It's got blank patch locations in the manual. Things. It's kind of cool. Get some really high frequencies shooting in there. What? I think this was $2.99. Now, one of the reasons that this is happening is I changed the FFT size to 512, and it generally runs on the default is 4096 samples, I guess, and then it's got 4 levels of that, so you keep chopping it in half to 2048, 1024, 512. This is on 512 right now. And if we put it on the max and did the exact same patch, you can hear the difference it makes in the sound. Hey, Undermined. Now if we downsize that to 2048, is what we're left with. And then go down to 1024. Whoa! This is like shifting bands in your vocoder, except I think it's even more at a microscopic level. run it to another reverb? I could get behind that science. Everybody's got VCV rack. Go get it right now. Whoa, that's cool. Just put this in a slightly slower slot. Slightly slower sloths. Say that 5 times fast. Slightly slower sloths. Slightly slower sloths. Slightly slower sloths. Slightly slower sloths. What's going on here? Let's put it back down to the lowest setting for FFT. Completely agree with Jojo. Absolutely agree. You know, I'm becoming a believer. The more I use this beast, the more I'm becoming a believer in like hardware over software. And I can certainly foresee a time where I actually have the space and I have all of my shit set up and everything's all nice and wired. I actually took a look at the at KnobCon at that. I think it's called like the PRCC or something, or PMC or something. It's like a MIDI. It's a MIDI patch, like an old school almost MIDI patch bay. And they have one that's, I believe it's no, it's not quite a full rack space, but it's got a bunch of DIN connectors, and then it has a bunch of like USB connectors on it too. So just USB MIDI is totally addressable to this thing. And I was like, man, that is the coolest thing. And I actually have probably that many devices that I could hook up to it. But they're making a small version. They have a little one. It's like a desktop, and all of the DIN plugs are right there on the front. And and then you just plug it into your computer over USB, and then it just becomes like a MIDI, like a central hub for all of your USB. Respect to that company, because yeah, they're doing cool shit. I think Loopop did a video on that, of like how to route stuff in your studio, and then I can't think of the name of the other German guy that I have listened to. He does a lot of streams, but he's got like ridiculous amounts of gear. He's got a friggin' Matrix 12 sitting in the background that he uses a lot. So, but I want to say he's got one of those as well. Which, that's the DAW component, right? Because then you can go into your DAW and just like click, here's your preset, and then it just like automatically, sets up all of your routings and just like click, oh, now I'm playing the Matrix 12. Wah, 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 wah. And, click, oh, now I'm on the Poly 6, and so on. That'd be kind of cool. Where were we? Yeah, we were making freakish noises. Okay. I think it's time to just find... Yup. Time all the way up. Slothitize the atmosphere control. I can get the cable in. Well, I mean, I do have my little system. There's part of me, and there's part of me right now that's kind of thinking of this in different terms. It's like, this thing has a really definitive character. Like, it sounds a specific way. It's not quite what I expected, but then again, I've only played with it for what, 45 minutes here? Like, that's not even close to time enough to make a good judgment. But, you know, I'm looking for that crystal clear, just spacey reverb, and I don't think it's going to come from here, but maybe it is. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. If that's the case, then I'm in a bit of a pickle, because now I have this ZDSP just hanging out. It has great reverbs on it, but I have the jack expander going in here, so I won't have room to put it back in. So then I'm looking like, well, now what? Pull the 2 HP reverb and put a Z-verb here for basic reverbs. I probably have the room for that, because the jack expander should be about up to here. I think it's the same size as the Aurora. It's 12 HP. So I'll have another 6 plus 2, and that's the perfect size for a Z-verb, and there's a little bit of extra wiggle room over here. You know what I mean? I know, seriously, man. And that's like that's one cool thing about VCV Rack, and like Omri Cohen talks about that. Like, I want every single sound to have its own separate reverb and character. And like, you could do that. You could definitely do that. And I could see the point to it. Yeah, so anyways, you know what? Here's the thing. I knew tonight was going to be a short stream, so I'm going to probably hit the road here. I actually have, sadly enough, I have work to do. Boo. But maybe tomorrow. I may be back tomorrow. I got to check and see when the jack expand is going to get delivered. It's on the way, so it might be here as soon as tomorrow. I know he sent it priority mail, so it might be here tomorrow. And if that's the case, then I'll definitely be here doing another stream, putting that thing in and running it through its paces a little bit. So, but for now, have a grand evening full of wonderment and excitement.